Hello everybody, my name is Maverick Peck, and this is my final reflection for CIT 448. There were quite a few aspects about this class that didn't necessarily surprise me, but rather caught my interest. I think my IES score was one of the most insightful tests that I've taken about myself, because I have taken tests about myself, about what kind of personality I have, strengths and weaknesses, what can I improve, and I'd say this one was probably one of the more in-depth ones. I assumed that the hardiness and emotional resilience score would have been fairly high, but I was surprised by the lower interpersonal engagement score, as I don't usually have a lot of difficulty building relationships and things of that nature. That being said, using the score to pair my team together was very interesting, actually, as it allowed for a very diverse group of people, some of which that were good at open communication, some who were had great cultural knowledge, and so on. But I think that learning how much work goes into melding the cultures together within different companies, different countries, states, pretty much any two different groups of people that there could be a different culture. Um, a lot of that melding doesn't get a lot of front-facing attention, and learning how much actually goes into that is a very important thing, especially if I work for a big business. My IES scores change very gradually over the course of the semester. These score changes include my self-awareness increasing by 1 point, and my relationship interest and emotional resilience both decreasing by 1 point. I can't necessarily say I am surprised by the score change. I do not believe I have changed super drastically as a person over the past few months, considering it is a relatively short amount of time. Um, that being said, I would like to say that due to this class and other outside of academic factors, I believe I am more of an open-minded person to other people's cultures and have gained more of an ability to be dynamic with things such as what restaurants we go to eat to and what me and my friends go and do. I don't feel so restricted and so limited to something that I feel is within my cultural range. Now that I kind of have words to put that in. I can also attest that the second time I took the IES test, it was finals time and I was under some stress, which might have caused some negative score decrease or some different positive score decrease increases. Honestly, I don't know, but I can't say overall I feel like an incredibly different person. So it could just be random chance, it could be permanent change. Who knows? As for the Globe Smart profile, my moderate scores in most areas would suggest a balanced work approach and communication about myself, um, showing that I'm capable of adapting to different situations, valuing both individual and team efforts, and taking calculated risks, uh, alongside my indirect communication style, along with a moderate approach to task orientation, suggests that I can adjust my communication style to respect others. Um, but while being well rounded, there are some areas of clear development, such as right there, that being all the way to the right. I am not a fan of being complete one way or the other on pretty much anything. So being able to recognize situations where it can be beneficial to be more direct, be able to take more risks, or lean more into my interdependence of a group could be beneficial. So what did I learn about my culture or other cultures from being in rural Ohio, growing up, born and raised until the age of 18? um, I can't say there's much of a magnification on culture at all. Um, while growing up, it really wasn't an idea in my mind until I kind of got into Miami. From this course, I've been able to analyze my cultural background and pick out some of the facts that might have played a role into my IAS score, or definitely did since it's kind of the environment I grew up in. This can include the fact that where I grew up was a primarily white, non-diverse community that focused on being hard-working individuals and never really focused on the melding of communities, right? It was just based on individual reaction, talking one-to-one. That's kind of that individual react or interaction that um, we focused on. It wasn't really a bringing communities together type thing. As for other cultures, I learned a great deal about Indonesia and Turkey that I can't honestly say I ever planned on learning in my life, but it was very interesting nonetheless. As for Indonesia, I learned about their diverse and rich heritage, their focus on their Muslim religion, and focus on art, which includes shadow puppetry and gamelan music. As for Turkey, their culture is particularly interesting as they are at a sort of historical crossroads, being between Asia and Europe. They're kind of influenced by various civilizations. Um, some of those civilizations included the Roman and Ottoman empires. This plays a role into their arts and crafts, literature, the cuisine they have, because they all sort of have hints of in between the European and Asian cultures, but it's mostly the Asian part of the culture that is more prominent in Turkey. So my attitude about global learning and intercultural competence. Global learning and intercultural competency are critical in our interconnected world. It allows for a comprehensive understanding of diverse cultures and values and perspectives as well. These competencies are essential for success in many different fields, including business, healthcare, social work, education, and in my case, IT. Facilitating effective communication in diverse environments in pretty much every field. Cultivating these skills can promote empathy, understanding, and respect toward others, reducing the feeling of prejudice, discrimination, and conflict between multiple cultures, which is obviously a very big problem if you work for a business and feel like you just can't get along with others, as if you're a kid. Um, but yes, that concludes my final reflection, and I hope you have a great summer.